live. KHOU 11 News at 6 starts now.
Coming up, a possible name to a face. A look at the suspect police believe killed a pregnant woman.
Plus, another earthquake in California. A look at how much more severe this one was compared to that quake that hit 2 weeks ago.
But first, mourning is giving way to shock in one local community tonight.
One person was arrested in the shooting death of a convenience store owner and another one detained.
But it's the ages of the suspects that have surprised many people, a 19-year-old and a 13-year-old.
Jacqueline Crea is live at that store with more. Jackie?
Rucks, the store behind me is closed. Obviously, the community and family still stunned by the murder of the store owner, Sam, as everybody knew him. But with this arrest comes a little bit of relief, but definitely shock at how young the suspect is. Candles still continue to burn outside this closed Shell gas station, and so do the outpouring of prayers and mourning for the beloved store owner, Sam Sadruddin, who was shot and killed inside, stunning the cut and shoot community.
He didn't deserve to go out like this. He was too good of a person to go out like this.
After nearly a week of fear, not knowing who was responsible.
We locked our gates and everything all night long.
The Montgomery County Sheriff's Office arrested this man, 19-year-old Joseph Gutierrez, and took a 13-year-old in for questioning.
Not only did they take a good man's life, they also took their own lives too. I mean,
for Sam's close friend Jack Smith, that arrest is even more meaningful.
I was at the back of the store, me and another lady, and they run in and hollered, "Give me your money," and pow pow, and was gone within the time you could turn around.
Just to know that people like that are off the streets.
With the shock, now comes relief.
So it's a tight-knit community as it is. I mean, we watch out for our own, and it's gonna really bring down a lot of more alertness on what's going on around here.
Never bring him back, but yeah, at least give everybody some light relief. You know, some kind of relief, the whole community, because like I said, he was part of the whole community.
While Sam will never be forgotten, the community and Sam's family may sleep a little better knowing they're one step closer to justice. Gutierrez is charged with capital murder by terror threat. We've placed a call to the sheriff's office to get more details. We've yet to hear back. As for the family, Sam's son plans on reopening the store tomorrow. Reporting live near Conroe, Jacqueline Crea, KHOU 11 News.
Jackie, thank you. Now to new details tonight in the investigation of a brutal murder.
Police have been searching for a week to find the person who killed a pregnant cleaning lady at a Southwest Houston strip club.
And today they identified a suspect in the case. Tim Wetzel is live outside the club on Gessner with the very latest. Hey, Tim.
Hey, Rucks, about a week ago when this happened, the club released surveillance video. You might be able to see some of the cameras here along the side of the building. They captured an image of this guy. Someone out there recognized him and called police with information. That's what led them to identify their suspect, 23-year-old Osvaldo Fernandez Aguilar. They believe he is the same man that was on tape outside the Eclipse Gentlemen's Club. Police say he got into the closed club during the day and killed the cleaning lady, 27-year-old Maria Lucretia. He was apparently after the cash inside the business. Maria, who was 5 months pregnant, died violently, a blunt force trauma. Her husband got worried when she didn't come home and called the club manager, and that's when they discovered her body. This murder has a lot of people in the neighborhood afraid, and they're hoping police get this guy.
I didn't appreciate that happened, you know, that this lady on her job and somebody breaks into place, you know, and takes her life, and not just her life, but unborn baby life, you know. So I really do hope they catch him.
Take another look at the suspect. Osvaldo Fernandez Aguilar was already out on bond for a separate theft charge. Now back here live, the management of the club is just arriving here, and I showed the manager a picture of this suspect, and he said, we've definitely seen that guy here before. If you know where he is or know who he is, please call investigators. They want to get him off the streets. We're live here in Southwest Houston. Tim Wetzel, KHOU 11 News.
Tim, thank you. A 5.1 magnitude earthquake hit the Los Angeles area late Friday night, and it was followed by some powerful aftershocks today. No one was hurt, but it did leave a lot of people very shaken up. The epicenter was in Orange County, and it triggered a rock slide that flipped a car. This all comes on the heels of a quake that hit near downtown Los Angeles.
This earthquake is probably about 10 times larger in terms of energy release than the one 2 weeks ago.
Everything's fallen over. There's cracks inside of our building. The floor separated from the walls.
Southern California has experienced relatively minor tremors since 1994 when a 6.7 magnitude quake killed dozens and caused $42 billion in damage. That stands as the second costliest disaster in U.S. history after Hurricane Katrina.
Certainly don't want to see that again.
No, not at all. I've been through a couple of those quakes, and man, they jar you,
scary.
no pun intended.
Yeah, they very much are.
Yeah.
Well, here in Houston today, it's nice to see the sunshine out, and it's also nice to see a radar that, unlike yesterday, is extremely quiet. Yesterday, we had a line of showers, got quite a light show, and thanks again, all of you that sent photos into KHOU, all that hailed, especially around the Houston area, up to the north. We got lots of photos. Thanks for sending those in once again. But today, the radar is conspicuously quiet, very nice, and very mild. Spring-like numbers inside the Beltway. Everybody ideal. Numbers are in the 70s. Really doesn't matter where you go. The sun was out. The temperatures are just about perfect. Low humidity. Now we're heading into the overnight hours with some cool temperatures. You may need a jacket by late night. We're going to show you exactly how cool things are going to get for the rest of southeast Texas. Don't be surprised if you see some even chillier numbers. We'll be back with those numbers in just a while, and we'll tell you our next chance for showers. You want to tune in for that because the garden so far is doing well. We want to do even better.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thanks, Mario.
Thank you. Well, you know, the search for wreckage from that missing Malaysian Airlines flight continued today. 2 ships retrieved several objects from the southern Indian Ocean, but so far there is no evidence linking any of those objects to the missing airliner. Those objects were recovered in a newly revised search area hundreds of miles north of where crews were looking previously. The crews will resume searching tomorrow morning. Now, the search for Flight 370 has gone on now for 3 weeks.
The Obamacare deadline is quickly approaching, and by this Monday, those who do not have health insurance face a possible penalty come tax time. This is what it looked like out at the Blue Cross Blue Shield Center in West Oaks Mall. That's where we found Rodney Kibble signing up for a plan for himself and his daughter.
I don't want the deadline to catch me, so it's worth it. So, you know, to get health insurance. So I'm good with Obamacare, so just want to make it happen.
All right, you can also sign up for health coverage at healthcare.gov or by calling 1-800-318-2596.
Rosenberg police have released a picture showing a pretty sizable cocaine seizure. About 15 kilograms of cocaine were seized Thursday night during a traffic stop at the 24,000 block of Highway 59. A canine investigator found those drugs after stopping the driver of a Ford pickup over defective taillights. Now, the drugs were found in a false compartment in the rear passenger area. The cocaine has a street value of roughly $450,000.
A woman was killed this morning after losing control and crashing into a tree. It happened around 2 a.m. along the North Freeway feeder road at Dominion Park. Investigators say she drove into the grass for several feet, even crossing an intersection and a parking lot before slamming into that tree. The driver, Zoila Castillo, was killed. Her passenger, Sergio Castillo, is being treated for serious injuries. Right now, officials don't think she had been drinking.
2 people are seriously hurt after police say a car ran a red light and slammed into another vehicle. It happened on the East Feeder Freeway, or Feeder rather, at John Martin. Now, Baytown police say the impact pushed one of those vehicles into the ditch there. A man and a woman had to be flown by life flight to Memorial Hermann Hospital in Houston.
The streets of Sunnyside came to life today. The community put on its 15th annual parade to honor the late civil rights leader, Cesar Chavez. Local politicians attended, as did representatives from the Houston Texans and the University of Houston Cougars. The Tejano Association also honored Harris County Judge Ed Emmett for his work in helping to preserve historic buildings.
Coming up, crews cleaning up the Galveston Bay oil spill shift their focus to a new location.
Police arrest 11 people in southeast Houston, what they're accused of doing.
Plus, why you'll be seeing fewer ugly houses like this in Houston. Now to the latest of the oil spill in the Houston Ship Channel.
Cleanup crews are still working to skim oil from the water and the shoreline.
However, the Coast Guard says that a lot of progress has been made.
Crews have shifted much of their focus to sensitive areas on the east end of Galveston, with a staging area for responders at Seawolf Park.
The Galveston Ferry is running on its regular schedule. The ship channel is open again with no restrictions, and 2/3 of the Texas City Dike is open to the public as well. The information from this story was made possible through our news partnership with the Galveston County Daily News.
11 people are behind bars after the bust of a huge cockfighting ring in southeast Houston. HPD was responding to a noise complaint on Mary Kay and Shermere, but found crowds cheering for a cockfight. Officers started arresting men as they came out, and some tried to escape but were later caught. Police say the event was well organized at an empty house. They found 3 dead birds and more than a dozen in cages.
After the break, the latest in the Washington State landslide search. What's slowing rescuers down there?
Plus, we're getting our first look at the multi-million-dollar memorial honoring Texans who fought in the Vietnam War.
It has been 1 week since a devastating mudslide swallowed a whole town in Washington State.
Today, rescuers are dealing with more bad weather as they continue to search for victims. Omar Villafranca reports from Washington.
1 week ago today, our community changed forever.
A moment of silence marked at 10:37 in the morning, exactly 1 week after a mountain of mud crashed down on Oso, Washington.
That you would just comfort them, Lord, during this time of tragedy.
The peace and quiet follows moments of terror 1 week ago when 15 million cubic yards of quicksand-like mud devoured and destroyed nearly 50 homes and everything else in its path. Searchers are dealing with unrelenting rain. They move slowly using dogs, then must rest every 4 hours to prevent hypothermia.
Everybody's wet, everybody's cold, and people don't last as long as they should.
Each crew has medical and mental health professionals nearby in case they need help.
The official death toll still stands at 17, not counting the 8 bodies that were located on Friday. At least 90 people are still listed as missing. And while the recovery efforts continue, residents are still trying to cope with the devastating losses.
That in our minds, we are in a recovery mode. In our hearts, we're in a rescue mode.
And the mission isn't likely to get any easier. Rain is expected to keep falling for at least several more days. Omar Villafranca, CBS News, Darrington, Washington.
Well, today crews started building a road hoping to cut through the slide area so they can get from one end to another. Right now, they have to drive around the slide, and that takes about an hour and a half, time they do not have to spare.
Breaking news from League City. Police there have detained a man whose wife was found dead in their home on Driftwood. It's not yet known how she died. The husband had run up to a neighbor, an off-duty League City police officer, saying something was wrong with his wife. We are looking into this, and we'll have much more for you tonight at 10 o'clock. Well, now, millions of people across the world are expected to turn off the lights for 1 hour when the clock strikes 8:30 p.m. The annual Earth Hour started in 2007, and it is aimed at showing support for environmental causes. Famous landmarks expected to turn off the lights include the Empire State Building, the Eiffel Tower, and Buckingham Palace.
Well, some people had to turn on their ACs here because it was a little warmer than usual. But Mario, we know what spring is like in Houston. It looks like there might be some rain coming our way again.
Yeah, some rain showers are going to pop up again towards the middle part of the week, Reka, but it was really nice getting that rain yesterday. It wasn't a lot of rain. Even some parts of southeast Texas missed out. For instance, the south end of the island and a little further southwest towards Brazoria County, they missed out on really some nice rainfall. And here's what it looks like on the island. Remember all that fog that's been down there? It seems like for weeks on end. Well, even that is gone today. So Galveston, you're certainly looking a lot more like springtime today, whereas Houston is sunnier and very nice. Galveston has been foggy. Now it's beautiful, 69 degrees. It's nice to share and get it all across southeast Texas, the same kind of weather we've been enjoying here in Houston. Just a spectacular day. It just doesn't get much better than this. Although tonight, as the atmosphere starts to clear out just a bit, we're going to still have a few high clouds, but we're going to have just fair enough weather cloud cover this evening that I think we're going to lose some of the heat we gained this afternoon. By the way, we were up to 79 today, 85 yesterday, and that's what set up those showers and thunderstorms. Great festival weather here for the rest of the weekend coming up. 77 degrees right now. It's the humidity that's extra low. Check out that 2.37. Humidity 24%. That is just like a desert. 30.14 and falling north winds at 12. Talking about the festivals around town this evening, as the festival kind of ends and Memorial Park. It's going to be a beautiful night for a walk in Memorial Park, and enjoy it again tomorrow. Bayou City Art Festival, Memorial Park, 77 degrees. Here's a view of the week ahead. Bar graph view of what's going to be happening. Here's when our best chances for showers are coming up. Around the middle part of the week, around Wednesday and Thursday, we're going to build up the cloud cover, build up the moisture, and build up those temperatures towards 80. So we're going to see warmer numbers ahead, not unlike what we're seeing now. Just beautiful, but low humidity today. Those numbers are going to be much more humid beginning on Monday and Tuesday as wind flow becomes more southerly. Today we've got these nice northerly winds, but tomorrow we're going to have southerly onshore winds. It's going to be a little more humid, but tonight the atmosphere is dry enough that we're going to see a cool night. Notice the numbers in the 40s north of the city. You may need a light blanket tonight, or perhaps even a light jacket if you're going out. Down to 50 degrees in the Houston area, and you can see by the afternoon tomorrow almost as nice, 77 degrees. The difference is we're going to have a few extra clouds. They're going to send the temperatures down just a few degrees from where we were today at 79. But again, we're going to march right back up again in our 3-day forecast. Notice the trend is for more moisture and for more spring showers, everybody. The forecast does look really nice up until you get to Wednesday and Thursday. But here's the good news. Our first pitch forecast, our countdown to the very first pitch is Tuesday against the Yankees. I'm going to have the forecast for that tonight coming up at 10 o'clock. We're going to go over exactly what the weather's going to be like and whether the roof's going to be open or closed. It's going to be touch and go, but I think it's going to be okay.
A lot of people are going to be
come in
interested
tonight.
in that.
Yeah, we'll see you then.
All
Thanks,
right.
Mario.
Okay, right. Well, it's taken nearly a decade, but today a monument was unveiled on the grounds of the state capitol in honor of Vietnam veterans. With American flags flying above, Vietnam veterans and proud family members filled the grounds of the state capitol. They joined Governor Rick Perry and other Texas lawmakers to commemorate the 14-foot memorial that now sits on the northeast corner of the Capitol grounds.
It'll stand as a reminder of what is noble, what is good about the human spirit. And it'll stand as a declaration that in Texas, we understand how blessed we are to have warriors ready to step forward.
I'm tickled to death we finally got this. I mean, it means a lot to me. I'm a 6th-generation Texan and a Vietnam veteran.
Entombed inside the monument, handmade dog tags bearing the name of each of the 3,400 Texans killed or missing in action. The unveiling marks 41 years to the day the last U.S. troops left Vietnam.
Coming up next, the Rockets are walking wounded into one of the biggest games of their season.
Plus, it's not just the major league guys chomping at the bit for opening day.
The end of March means the beginning of baseball season, and for the youth league players at South Central Sports, it couldn't come soon enough.
The teams are wearing uniforms in honor of the Negro League, and baseball wasn't the only draw at Sunnyside Park. There was a petting zoo, carnival rides, and the Astros mascot Orbit. The Port City Lynx also had free health screening booths.
Bob Allen here on a Saturday. Thanks for joining us.
Well, what better place to be on a beautiful spring day than inside a television studio?
Absolutely,
you know what I mean?
right?
Okay. Rockets have themselves what could be a pretty serious problem. Starting point guard Patrick Beverly out indefinitely with a torn meniscus in his knee. His return is unknown. And Dwight Howard will miss tonight's game against the Clippers and probably then some with that strained left ankle he re-aggravated, which is not good. Rockets are going to sit him down for perhaps as many as 10 days, so he'll be good to go for the playoffs. What that means is Jeremy Lin will start at point guard, and he can't play defense and is erratic, and Omar Ashik will be the starting center. Ashik, excellent defensively, but not the scoring presence Howard is, so it's going to be a tough run for a while. March Madness continued late last night with a couple of great finishes in the Sweet 16. Arch rivals Kentucky and Louisville in the Midwest region. Wildcats up 1:10 to play. Russ Smith hits the jumper to put Louisville in the lead, but back comes Kentucky. Julius Randle finds Aaron Harrison in the corner, and the freshman from Travis High School nails it. Wildcats up 2. Last chance for Louisville. Smith shoots the 3. It's no good. Kentucky takes down the defending national champion 74-69. Top seed Virginia in trouble against Michigan State. Dunk from Brandon Dawson puts the Spartans up 5 with less than a minute left. But then Joe Harris gets the 3 to go down, and it's 56-54 then with 5 seconds left. Malcolm Brogdon makes it a 1-point game, but Michigan State misses the free throw on purpose. And the 70-footer at the buzzer is not any good. Michigan State wins it 71-69. Tonight, two teams punch their tickets to the Final Four. Right now, Florida leading Dayton 38-24 at halftime. Later on, it'll be top seed Arizona taking on Wisconsin in the West region. In the women's Sweet 16 today, Baylor just rolled over Kentucky. Odyssey Sims led the way with 25 points as the Lady Bears controlled the game from the opening tip. And for the fourth time in 5 years, Baylor women are back in the Elite Eight. Lady Bears win it 90-72. Astros on their way back home, stopping off in San Antonio to play the Rangers this afternoon. And the Astros prospects scored early and often. Top of the first, George Springer with a bomb to straightaway center. Adds way back and gone. Springer 3 for 3 on the day. Astros jump out to a 3-0 lead. 5-3 Houston in the fifth, and that's Jonathan Meyer goes to the opposite field. His first home run of the spring, a grand slam. Astros led at 9-3, and they're not done. Nolan Fontana, deep right center, a 3-run homer. Astros prospects blow out the Rangers 13-6. Tonight, the starters at Minute Maid Park against a team from Veracruz, Mexico. And with the Shell Houston Open starting next Thursday, the tournament got what could be potentially some bad news. Phil Mickelson, who is committed to play here, withdrew from the Texas Open in San Antonio today with a muscle injury in his side. Mickelson said he'd go home, have a doctor look at it, doesn't know if he'll be able to play or not in the Shell Open yet.
All right. Thanks, Bob.
Okay.
And thanks for joining us today. Enjoy the evening. We'll see you at 10.
Take it easy.